Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Steve riding a zombie statue. I know, crazy isn't it? Looks really cool. I would highly recommend building this one. Every single time I look at this thing in my world, I have a nice little bit of a chuckle to myself. We're not even 2 minutes in and I'm already promoting this statue. By the way, just in case you have any more building related needs, feel free to not only check out the description below, but honestly, I would highly recommend checking out the card system, where I'll be leaving links to more specific videos and playlists that I think that you guys will really want to check out. More stuff like this. I have loads of other great statues, guys. Honestly, check it out. Moving on, if you want to make this, here's what you're going to need. Grab yourself some birchwood planks and some white stained clay. Grab yourself some brown stained clay, then some black wool. Grab dark grey, dark green, dark blue, cyan, and finally, guys, grab yourself some white wool, and I believe that those are the only materials that we're going to be needing. I think I've been wrong before, but once you have each one of those materials right there, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here. You're going to want to kick this off with a row of 8 dark grey wool in a row on the floor. That's 8 dark grey, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like that. Nice and easy. What you then want to do, guys, on top of this row of 8 dark grey, stack another row of 8 dark grey. So just throw another row directly on top of it. Then take out your dark blue wool and stack 10 solid rows of dark blue. So let's count those out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we've just got to completely fill these in. It's probably easier to go up and down rather than left to right. I've got no idea. It feels faster at the very least, and that's what matters. Need to feel the speed. So, once you have your 10 solid rows of dark blue wool, this is what you want to do next. So, starting from the right hand side of the next row, do 2 cyan coming in, and then make the rest of the row dark blue wool. Then for the next row after that, again coming in from the right, which is unusual, come in by 3 cyan, then dark blue wool coming all the way to the left. There we go, and that's just the part of the shirt that the zombies got untucked. Very, very messy zombie. What you then want to do, guys, is do 8 solid rows of cyans. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we've just got to fill all of these in, haven't we? Which should be quite easy. We're just going to go up and down again. Because again, I feel as though that this is faster. I've got no clue though. It feels faster. Definitely feels faster, but whatever. Once you have your 8 solid rows of cyan wool, you then, for the next row, going from left to right, want to do this sequence of blocks. Do 3 cyan, 1, 2, 3, followed by 2 dark green, then 3 cyan. For the next row, do 2 cyan, 4 dark green, 2 cyan, to give you something which should, so far, look a little bit like this. There we go, that's what we want to have so far. Now, once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So we're now going to make this look a little bit more 3D, and to do that we're going to come all the way to the back of the statue, come all the way down to the bottoms of the feet, take each one of the bottom 2 corners of the statue and drag them backwards each by 3 with the dark grey. That's 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. And then connect each one of those third blocks together to give you a U shape like this. We're now going to be building up on top of these 8 back blocks that we have right here, and to kick off the back we want to do 2 solid rows of dark grey coming up, so that'll be 1 and 2. Just 2 rows of dark grey coming up like that. We then want to do 7 solid rows of dark blue wool. So that's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we've just got to fill those in. And we're just going to, again, do that up and down. I'm sure at a certain point it's slower to do this, but I'm not entirely sure what the threshold is. But there we go, we got that taken care of pretty quickly. So we now have 7 solid rows of dark blue wool stacked on top of our, in total, 3 rows of dark grey. We had the 1 that we did out of the 2, 3 rows. What we then want to do for the next row, going from left to right, we've got to do a nice quick bit of math. Going from left to right, do 4 dark blue, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 cyan, then 3 dark blue. Then for the next row, do 3 dark blue, that's 1, 2, 3, 3 cyan, then 2 dark blue. We then want to do 12 solid rows of cyan, or more realistically what you have to do is just basically do a row of cyan that goes all the way up to the top of the statue, the front of the statue. Just make sure that it's the right height, and then fill everything else in with your cyan wall. So you don't really have to count them out, but that should be, if my math is correct, 12 rows. But it doesn't really matter regardless. Just make sure that it's the right height as the front of the statue and fill it in. And you'll end up with something that should look a little bit like this, and that's the back of the zombie, and that little bit of cyan that we have tucking out at the back. Again, the zombie's very messy. Bit of a scruffy zombie, this one. Doesn't take care of himself. His flesh is peeling off, but that is no excuse to not have your shirt tucked in, honestly. Once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. You want to come all the way to the front of your statue. Take out your dark green wool, and let's start on the right. We always start on the right, why not? So starting on the right hand side, come up to the top right hand corner of the statue, and starting from this very corner cyan block, going right, do 3 dark green, that's 1, 2, 3. Then do 2 bottom right diagonals, that's 1 and 2. You then want to go down by 7, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then do 2 bottom left diagonals, that's 1 and 2. And then go left by 2, 1, 2. And you should just connect all the way back down to the cyan that we have all the way down at the bottom there, the bit that's untucked. Now, once you've done that on the right hand side, do that on the left. So coming up to the top left hand corner here, we want to go left of this block by 3, so that's 1, 2, 3. We then want to do 2 bottom left diagonals, that's 1 and 2. We then go down by 7, that's 1, what? Oh Jesus, okay, so 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then 2 bottom right diagonals, that's 1 and 2. Then go to the right of that until you connect all the way back to the statue. So you want to end up with something that should look a little bit like this. So the zombie at the moment, he looks kind of angry, doesn't he? He's kind of got his hands on the hips, he's like, what are you doing? Obviously he can't snap his fingers because his hands are on the hips, but you guys get the idea. What we now want to do is we then want to do the exact same thing on the back of the statue, and the easiest way to do this is quite simply to look at the front of the statue and copy what you've done on the front. So we could go through the procedure of me explaining what blocks go where again, but what's easier, as I've just explained, is just look directly forward at what you've just done, copy that. Much easier, much quicker, take us a lot less time. And what we're going to have to do after this, we're going to have to fill these in. So once you've done both the backs of the arms, and we'll be able to see them from the front, what we now have to do, we have to fill these in. So we want to fill in the front, the back portions of this, and we're also going to have to fill in the side portions as well. So where you have like the underparts here, like it's obvious how they connect together. You basically just want to connect the front part of the arm to the back part of the arm. I'm sure that you guys won't have any issues in doing this whatsoever. I mean, it's fairly self-explanatory. You just want to connect, get out of the way, there we go. You just want to connect the front to the back. So we're just going to do that. We've just about completed the no, we haven't, because we've got the back to fill in, but you guys are going to see. And I know that these don't look particularly impressive at the moment, these arms. They're not exactly poised correctly, but once Steve is on the zombie's back, I don't know why that made me choke, but once Steve is on the zombie's back, it's all going to make a lot more sense. Like, the idea, the zombie's giving him a piggyback. You guys know how piggybacks work, right? Of course, you're on the guy's back or girl's back, whatever, I'm not sexist. You're on whoever's back, and you've got, like, your legs tucked between their arms, and they're kind of, like, holding your legs up with their arms, and that is what the zombie is doing to Steve. And Steve's legs are just kind of like hooked between his arms, and obviously there should like be a hole here, but there's no point in adding that because, like I said, Steve's legs are going to encompass it, so there's no real point in having a hole, so we may as well just do the entire big shape like this, and what you want to have should look a little bit like that. And again, he kind of just looks a little bit sassy at the moment, he's just a little bit like that. Once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. So we do have to fill the legs of the zombie in. These are very easy. So coming to left, like first of all, for example, the left-hand side, we want to do this. We want to do an entire row of dark grey wool on top of that first row. Then for the next row, we want to place a dark grey wool on the left, and then we can just proceed to fill everywhere else inside the leg in with dark blue wool. So that's one side. And then this opposite side, we just want to do the same. One row, and then dark grey wool on the right here, closest to the back of the statue, really. And then we can just fill the rest of the leg in with dark blue wool. And what we want to end up with should look a little bit like this, and that's perfect. That's the zombie's body pretty much complete. We now have to add the head, so why don't we get cracking? Once you've reached this point right here, you now want to come to the front of your zombie, come all the way up to the top of the torso, and on top of the top of the torso, you want to do a row of 8 dark green wool. So on top there, just a row of 8 dark green wool. You then want to extend that row of 8 dark green towards you by 2 rows, so that'll be 1, and that will be 2, just like that. We then want to do 2 rows on top of that second row, so that'll be 1 and 2, so building up 1 and 2. Then going from left to right on top of that row, we want to do 1 dark green, 2 black, 2 dark green, 2 black, 1 dark green. We then want to do 4 solid rows of dark green, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we can just fill these in. I think this is a case where it's actually faster to go from left to right rather than go up and down. I think we found the threshold. 4 or higher, or 5 or higher I should say. So that is what you want to have for your zombie's face. That's the zombie's face, looking very plain, looking very serial. Once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. Come all the way around to the back of your zombie's head. Take this row of your zombie's head, this first row, extend it until it is in line with this row of cyan that we have for the back, so in line with this row of cyan for the back here. Raise up the 2 back corners until it's equal height with the front of the head. So here, connect it together, then connect it, well, I say connect it together, connect everything together is what I mean, so connect everything together so you kind of have like this big giant cubish rectangularish thingy shape right here. What we can then do is completely fill it in with dark green wool, and in doing that we've actually completed the zombie portion of this. This is the zombie portion complete. Everything else from here onwards is going to be Steve. Steve is going to be a large part of this. It's probably definitely going to be harder to build actually. Steve's a little bit more complicated than the zombie just because he's poised in an unusual way. It's not like you usually wouldn't see Steve looking like this unless he's like riding a pig or something. But what you want to have should look a little bit like this. And like I said, it's kind of just like a bit of a sassy zombie. I really like it. I mean, this is a statue all by itself really. The zombie's a little bit unhappy, but once you reach this point right here, this is what you want to do next. Come all the way up to the top back portion of your zombie's head. With your cyan wool, you want to, and I'm wondering the best way to do this. Let me see, guys. Okay, I've got this figured out. So take the very top back part of your zombie's head, extend it out by 1 row with your cyan like that. So you want to do an entire row of cyan right at the top back of the head. Then for the next row on top of that, and as a matter of fact guys, this is for 2 rows, do 2 solid rows of cyan on top of that. So that'll be 1 and 2, so going from left to right, 1, 2 rows. Then for the next row, going from left to right, do 3 cyan, so that's 1, 2, 3. Then 2 white stained clay, 3 cyan. For the next row, do 2 cyan, then 4 white stained clay, then 2 cyan. And obviously that's just like the top of Steve's chest. What you now want to do is coming behind what we've made, take the top 2 corners of the torso, so this very top row that we've just made, extend each one of these corners back by 3 with the cyan. That's 1, 2, 3, and that'll be 1, 2, 3. Then connect them together, and you also want to drag down those corners by, in total, drag them down by 10. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And you want to do the same with the other row as well, and I'm going to count this out just to make sure it's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then connect each one of those cyan blocks together, and then connect them all the way back to, I guess it's the back of the head, isn't it? So we want to connect them to the back of the head. Perfect. What we can then do, guys, is once you have this, shall we do Steve's head? You know what, now, since we're up here, we're going to do Steve's head. Now that the body's taken care of, we'll save the harder bit till last. So, now we've reached this part, you want to come all the way up back to the top of where we were just building. I'm sorry, we should have done this earlier. And on top of this top row of the torso that we have right here that has the white stained clay in it, add an additional row of white stained clay. Then do a row of white stained clay in front of that. Then for the next row, going from left to right, do 2 white stained clay. Then 4 brown clay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 white stained clay. We're now going to be building up on top of this row, so coming upwards, going from left to right, do 2 white stained clay, 1 brown, 2 white, 1 brown, 2 white. For the next row, do 3 white stained clay, 2 brown, 3 white stained clay. For the next row, do 1 white stained clay, 1 white, 1 dark blue, 2 white stained clay, 1 dark blue, 1 white wool, 1 white stained clay. For the next row, do an entire row of white stained clay. For the next row, do 1 brown stained clay, then 6 white stained clay, 1 brown stained clay. Then to finish off the head, do 2 solid rows of brown stained clay. That will be 1 and 2, and what you'll end up with should look a little bit like this, and that's obviously Steve's face. What we now want to do is this: take out your white stained clay, your old pal white stained clay, and come all the way around to the back of Steve's head. Take the very first row of white stained clay that we placed for Steve's head and extend it, coming over the back of the statue until it overhangs the back of the statue by 1 row. Just 1 row this time, guys. Wait until it overhangs by 1 row like that. Then for the next row, which will be the final row of the head, make sure that the 4 middle blocks are brown stained clay, and then make all of the other blocks white stained clay, like this. Perfect. Once you've got that taken care of, you now want to come to either side of the head, and starting from going left of, or going towards the back of the head, starting from the face, you want to, for the first row, do 4 white stained clay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you want to do 2 rows of 2 white stained clay, that's 1, 2. So you want to have this shape at the front of the head. Not only do you want this on the left hand side of the head, you want to have it on the right hand side of the head as well. So a row of 4 white stained clay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 2 rows of 2, that's 1 and 2. You can then take out your brown stained clay, and starting from the back 2 corners of the head, raise up the 2 back corners with your brown stained clay, raise them up until they're equal height with the front of the head, connect them together, and also connect them to each other as well. You can then proceed to just completely fill in the head with your brown stained clay, which will take us a little while, but in doing this, I can now take a little bit of a gander, see what we're going to be doing next, because believe it or not, guys, I've not really made a statue like this before, and I'm still determining what's the best way to actually show you guys how to make this. I might do the legs next. I think I'm going to do the legs. I think I'm going to do the part on the front of the statue with the zombie, and then everything else will be out at the back. So I think that's how this is going to do. Yeah, that's how this is going to go. Next, we're going to be doing like the front parts of the legs, which are like, they're looped in between the zombie's arms, and they're going to be poking out of the front of the statue. It's going to look quite comical. So that's what we're going to be doing right after this. So this is what you want to have for Steve's head. You can see that we have Steve looking a little bit creepy at the moment, a little bit creepy, gonna be looking better soon, promise you. Once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. So we now have to come back to the zombie's torso. You want to come all the way down to the first row that we have right here. So you can see where the cyan starts on the left hand side at the bottom of the base of the torso. We want to come up here, and we want to find the 6th row. So this will be the first row, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Go left of this 6th block by 1, and then do a single dark blue coming out of the front of the statue like that. We then want to take a sideways view to what we have just placed, and we want to do, guys, a bottom right diagonal with your dark blue, so it'll look like this. We then want to go down by 2 with the dark blue, so that's 1, 2. Then do a bottom left diagonal, like that. Then take out your dark grey wall, and going down from this block that we just did a diagonal from, we want to go down by 2 of the dark grey, that's 1, 2. And then we want to go right of this bottom dark grey by 2. We then want to go up by 3, so that's 1, 2, 3. And then go left by 1 to give you this shape. Then fill in the dark grey shape with dark grey, and then fill in the left hand shape with dark blue wool. Makes a bit of sense, doesn't it? What we now want to do is this. So we now want to take this shape essentially, and we want to drag it over to the left by 3 rows. It will look like this, like 1, 2, 3. Just basically take the edge blocks of the shape and just extend them over to the left by 3 each. and it'll look like this. Like, you don't have to do the center part, you just have to do the edge parts. It's kind of difficult to explain, but you want to end up with something that should look like this, so just drag it over by 3 rows. Then fill the outer part of it in exactly how you filled like the opposite side in, and you just want to end up with something that should look a little bit like this. And I know that this looks a little bit weird, I know that the shape's a little bit weird, but honestly, it's kind of a difficult shape to emulate, like a jagged leg sticking out of a zombie's arm. So what it should look like from the front, it should look a little bit like this, and that's perfect, guys. And this will look a little bit better once the other leg's there and once Steve's there. So that's one side. Why don't we do the other side? So to do the other side, to line this up, all we have to do is obviously we find the 6th row again, which is obviously this one, come all the way over to the right, and then we want to do a dark blue poking out from here. And then if we just look at the opposite side here from the dark blue, we just want to do a bottom left diagonal. We then want to go down by 2, so that's 1, 2. Then do a bottom right diagonal. From the block that we did a bottom right diagonal from, we want to go down by 2 of the dark grey, that's 1, 2. Then go left by 2 of the dark grey. Then go up by 3, that's 1, 2, 3. Then right by 1. Then we can just fill the individual sections in with the individual colours. And then we just want to take those outer blocks once again, and we just want to drag them over by 3 rows, and this will just form the 3D portion of the leg that's again sticking through the zombie's arms. And that's how Steve's being supported. It's quite beautiful, really. The zombie is supporting him as because he loves him, because the zombie loves Steve. I don't know why. Who knows why? But it'll look a little something like this, and you can see with both of the legs it makes a little bit more sense, doesn't it? Doesn't it look a little bit better? The Vault Boy in the background is giving us a nice thumbs up. It's like, yep, looking good so far. Alright guys, so now it's time to do the back part of the legs, which is going to be really difficult, so please bear with me because this is going to be tricky for me to explain. So we now want to come all the way around to the back of the statue once again. You can see where we have the bottom of Steve's torso right here. Well, what we now want to do, we want to take the back 2 corners of Steve's torso, just the back 2 corners, and we want to drag them down each by 4 with the dark blue. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Then connect them together, and then connect them back to the zombie itself. So we just want to come down from the corners by 4, connect them together, connect to the zombie itself. What we now want to do is this. So looking this way, so towards the front of our zombie, we want to take this top dark blue wall on the right hand side here, this first one that we place coming down, and we want to go right of this by 2 of the dark blue, that's 1, 2. We then want to do 2 bottom right diagonals, so that's 1 and 2. We then want to go down by 3, so that's 1, 2, 3. We then want to take a sideways view like this, so we're now looking towards Steve, and we want to do 3 bottom right diagonals, so that's 1, 2, and that third one should connect to the zombie's arm. We then want to go up on top of the third bottom right diagonal by 6, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we want to, again, taking like this view, so looking towards the front of the zombie, do 2 up left diagonals, that'll be 1 and 2. Then go left of the second up left diagonal until we connect back to the zombie. So we want to have a shape which should look a little bit like this, and I know that this is a bit of a weird shape, isn't it? Bit of a weird shape, but shall I show you how this is supposed to look before we do the other leg? Let me show you. So what we now want to do, guys, you can see this outer part of the leg that we've made, this really weird shape. Well, what we want to do, take the outside blocks of this leg, very much how we did with the front part of the leg, and extend them, coming across the back each by 3, so it'll look like this, 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth, coming all the way across, and then it should just connect all the way back together. And what we can do is we can just fill this inside shape in. So these are simply the blocks of 3 that we placed. We just want to fill that shape in, and we can also fill the bottom part of Steve's pelvis in with dark blue wool. This is just the dark blue wool square that we placed underneath the torso, and it'll look a little something like this, if you guys can see. Like, that's his leg. It's being spread apart, and it's being it's hooked in front of the zombie. Like, it's exactly how you might imagine it would look, or, you know, as close as you can get with Minecraft if you were actually getting a piggyback. It's kind of like that, and that's sort of the shape they're aiming for. That's what we're going for. So that's the right hand leg. Why don't we do the left hand leg now, and then we can fill this in a little bit better. So Coming to the left-hand side now, we want to, starting from this block, this is the equivalent block on the left-hand side, we want to go left of this by 2, with our dark blue, that's 1, 2. Then 2 bottom left diagonals, that's 1 and 2. We then want to go down by 3, that's 1, 2, 3. We then want to take a sideways view to what we've just made and coming towards the front of the zombie, 3 bottom left diagonals, that's 1, 2, the third should connect back to the front of the statue. Perfect. On top of the third bottom left diagonal, we want to go up by 6, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then, looking forward, we want to do 2 up right diagonals, that's 1, 2, the second one should poke out, and then go right that second one by 1 to give you something which should look a little something like this. And this is the weird shape again, but the weird shape, you don't have to be afraid of it because it's quite easy. What you have to do is then take the inside the weird shape and take the outer blocks, and we want to extend them coming across the back each by 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth, and you just want to keep dragging them over, and you should eventually just end up with the exact same shape that we have on the opposite side, and this will just look a little something like this, which is equivalent to that on the right, and then we just have to fill the outer parts in here, so we just have to fill the outer parts, and this is the exact same thing. We just have to connect the front leg to the back of the leg like this. So we have this shape, and then what we can also do, where Steve's arse is, we can just completely fill this in with dark blue wool, so that is completely filled in there, perfect. And what we then want to do, we can then just fill the back in with cyan, and we can also do the same with the sides, so we can fill the back and the sides in with cyan. Then Steve is just missing 2 very, very vital appendages. He's missing his arms, he needs them, so is an arm an appendage? I don't know, I don't care. He's missing 2 very vital parts of him, which are his arms. How is he going to tell the zombie where to go if he doesn't have his arms? I think appendages are more like fingers and stuff. I think appendages are more like fingers and toes. Is a nose an appendage? I don't know. I'm going to have to Google that. I've got no clue, but missing very vital parts of his anatomy. But so far, we want to have something which should look a little something like this. It looks really weird without his arms. It looks really weird. Let's take a look from the front. Yeah, that is creepy. He kind of looks like a creeper or something without the arms. But once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. So we're on the front of the statue again, and we're all the way up at the top left-hand side of Steve's torso. We want to take the top 2 corners of the torso and extend them coming out each by 4 with the sign. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Connect each one of those together and take each one of those 4th blocks, extend them down each by 3. That's 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Connect each one of those 3rd blocks together and then connect back to the actual torso itself like that. We then want to take out our white stained clay and take each one of the 4 corners of the front of the square shape that we have and extend them coming out each by 8 with the white stained clay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we can just connect each one of those 8 blocks together, just going all the way around, and we will just end up with an arm shape that should look a little something like this. And what we can then do is just completely fill this in. So like obviously the front part of the arm will be filled in with white stained clay, the back part of the arm will be filled in with a dark, not dark blue wool, with cyan wool. So exactly how you might imagine it. And what this arm is basically doing is it's pointing. It's like, zombie, that way. That's basically what Steve's doing with his right arm. He's just pointing a direction, and his left arm, which I think is actually quite fun. I think this actually makes it so much better. Like without this, I don't think that the statue is nearly as good. In his opposite arm, he has a map. He's got a map with a big red X on it. It's like, zombie, we must go in this direction. This is where we're heading. But you can see that this is what we want to have, guys. It looks a lot less creepy now, doesn't it? That's what we want to have so far. Why don't we complete the other arm and then we can be finished? So, coming all the way over to the opposite side of the statue, we now want to, again, do the first bit of the arm, which is the 4x4 square of cyan wool. So, taking each one of the top 2 corners, we want to do 2 rows of 4 cyan. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Connect them together. Take each one of the corners, go down by 3. That's 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Connect each one of those blocks together. connect them all the way back to the torso, like that. Then fill in this area with your cyan. You don't actually have to fill in the front part, but we may as well just fill in the back portion of this. The reason that we're doing this, we're going to have to dump a color. I figure we may as well dump cyan. Actually, we'll probably dump something else, but it's okay. We can do that later, actually. We don't need to be in a rush. So that is the back part of the arm taken care of. What we now want to do is take out our white stained clay. And, oh, what's the best way to do this? I know the best way to do this. So let's take this inside top left-hand front corner block that we have here for our square. And from this, we want to come out by 3 with our white clay. That's 1, 2, 3. Then taking a sideways view like this, looking that way over to the other side of the statue, we want to do 3 up left diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3. We then want to go left by 1, down by 3, that's 1, 2, 3. Then do 3 bottom right diagonals, that's 1, 2, 3. Then right by 3, that's 1, 2, and 3, and that should connect you all the way back to the arm. And what we then want to do, guys, is we basically just want to extend this over by 3 rows, coming back across the statue. So it basically just wants to come across, coming outwards, and it'll just look like an arm, essentially what we're doing. And the reason that it's kind of like poised like this, it's holding a map. Like I said, the reason that it's kind of like held up like this, Steve's holding a map up in front of him whilst he's riding the zombie's back. So it just wants to look a little something like this, and that's perfect, guys. That's exactly what we want to have. Now, once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. Dump the color white stained clay, we don't need it anymore, and grab yourself some red wool. Can't believe we forgot this. Once you have your red wool, you then want to come to the front of the hand, and like on the left hand, oh damn, we forgot that side. Okay, so take out the white stained clay again if you forgot this side like I did, and completely fill this in. Whoops, my bad, it's okay, we have the red wool now, we can just, there we go, we can just switch those out. Wonderful. Okay, so you're on this inside of the hand, which is now filled in. Take out your birchwood planks, and starting from in front of this block, so coming out left, kind of like this way where Steve's face is, you want to do a birchwood plank, then go up on top of this plank by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then want to go right by 5, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then want to go down by 6, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it should connect to the opposite point on the other side. We then want to take out the red wool, and starting from the top right hand corner, we want to place a red wool block, then do 2 bottom left diagonals, that's 1, 2. Then from the center red wool block, we want to do a bottom right diagonal and an upper left diagonal to form an X shape. We then want to completely fill the rest of the map in with birchwood planks, and we should end up with something that should look a little something like this. And I know that it looks off-center, that's because it's supposed to. The map isn't supposed to be like perfectly centered. Once you've got that taken care of, you've actually 100% fully completed your statue, and this is the view of the zombie, which always cracks me up. I think that this is absolutely perfect, guys. I love this. It's such a nice, comical looking statue, and I don't think it's so difficult to make either. I really do like this. It's Steve riding a zombie. He's like, zombie, that away. We have treasure to find, and I have the map. I think that this is an absolutely lovely statue. Hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully you managed to make it. Nobody requested this. Nobody... Well, actually somebody did. Somebody requested that I make Alex riding a statue. I'm not a particular fan of Alex, so I decided to make Steve riding the statue, and I decided to have it a little bit more interesting, like I said, pointing in a direction, and I figured I'd add the map, and I think that, I don't know, I think that it looks quite good. I mean, the back of the statue looks a little crazy, like this, but, I mean, you know, how close can you get? I mean, we're dealing with squares. It's kind of hard to bend things properly and have them look as proper as you can make them. Like, this is as close as I could get. This is as good as I can get, and honestly, I think that this looks really, really nice. I think it's a nice, fun statue that is really fun to make, and it's really fun to just have in your world. If you're into alternate statues like I am, even the Vault Boy likes it. Hopefully you guys like it as well. So if you wouldn't mind, guys, give this a like, give it a favorite, give it a share. It only encourages me to make more things like this. I like making alternate statues. I like making things like this, which are a little bit different, which maybe not so many people have done. I mean, I'm not going to say that nobody everybody's done this before because this is Minecraft. Somebody's done everything in this game. So hopefully you guys like this. Feel free to comment down below, what do you want to see me make next? I'm always interested in your ideas, I always am. I'm still going to make Steve riding a horse. And then I don't know what other statues I'm going to make. I was thinking about doing a Steve sleeping statue. I don't know whether that would be a fun statue to make or not. I'd have to see it before I actually did it. And then, I'm kind of out of ideas, to be honest. Or at least ideas that won't drive me insane. I do have some really crazy ones, but I'm not sure if I'd ever do that. So hopefully you guys like this. Hopefully you managed to make it. Like, favorite, share if you wouldn't mind. Comment down below, what do you want to see next? Check out the description, or screw that, check out the card system. I highly recommend it. Feel free to have a look at some other alternate statues that I've made before in the past. Let me know, guys, what you want to see. Like, favorite, share. That's the most important bit, guys. If you wouldn't mind, like, favorite, share, and comment telling me what you want to see next. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.